Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel UX UI Design Group. In today's video, I'll be talking about the part 1 of heuristic evaluations with a lot of interesting and simple examples which would help you to understand the heuristic guidelines more better. In my last video, I spoke about what is the heuristics and the who, when and how of the heuristics. And also, I spoke about first rule of heuristics, that is visibility of system status. So in today's video, I'll talk about second, third and fourth rules of heuristics, that is match between the system and the real world, user control and freedom, consistency in standards. So let's see what is match between system and the real world. Remember one thing, the system should speak the user's language with words, phrase, and concepts which are familiar to the user rather than system oriented terms or some technical terms which is very difficult for the user to understand. Let's see some examples of real world and digital world. On the left hand side, if you see the user holding the credit card, on the right hand side the credit card which is displayed in the mobile, it appears the same size in terms of round corners, in terms of numbers. You see the name there as per the real credit card. So it's easier for the user to recognize the credit card because they have seen in the real world. So this is called skeuomorphism design, which makes UI familiar for the users by using the concept they recognize easily. Let's see another example of real world and digital world. On the left hand side, you see the traditional calculator which we use in the real world. The users is typing on the buttons or clicking on the buttons. On the right hand side, if you see the digital world, that is in your mobile app, it represents same kind of layout, same kind of color combinations, or same kind of experience what you see in the real world. Some examples would be like this you see in the picture. So these icons depicts the real world objects into UI elements in the form of icons like credit card, bag, delivery truck, add to cart, and shop or home. Now let's see what is user control and freedom, the third heuristic. Users often choose system functions by mistake, and we need a clearly marked emergency exit to leave the unwanted stage without having to go through an extended dialog support like undo and redo. Let's jump into the example of user control and freedom. You should always treat your users like a king, not like a slave. So, if as a user I am seeing some pop up window or a pop up screen which says subscribe to my newsletter and there is a email ID, I need to enter and the two actions which says confirm or yes please or on the other action, which is very important for me. As a user which says no thanks, I am not interested. Right now, maybe I may obtain it later. So as a user, you should always provide there is a exit door or exit window where user can opt out. So you should not force the user to sign in or opt in for your subscription. Maybe he may not be interested right now to opt in. So you should always give an option for the user opt in to opt out, to accept, reject, to cancel, to accept it. I hope you got this concept of user control and freedom through this example. Now let's see another example. So it's kind of a confirmation message which a user sees when he has taken some action in the previous screen. Like he would have clicked some delete button or delete an action post, that he would see this confirmation message or confirmation pop-up which clearly says, which clearly interacts with the system, this data would be deleted permanently. Are you sure? Want to delete? It gives the user two options, which for the confirmation, yes, I want to delete, or I have clicked that intentionally, or the user would have clicked on the button by mistake. So there is an option which clearly says cancel, so that user can go through the previous screen. So all your users. So always allow a user an action like undo and redo. Let them make their own choice instead of forcing them to make the decisions. And the fourth heuristic is consistency and standards. So, what do you mean by consistency and standards? Well, for users using an app or website, the user should have similar experience while using your product. Like a user is going through your home page or about us page or service page or company page or a product page, the user should feel that he is on the same website or on the same product. By seeing the similar kinds of fonts, the action buttons, the color, the layout, the spacing, that's very important for an user to hold on your product. So now let's see a quick interesting example for the fourth heuristic, that is consistency and standard. In the screen, if you see the consistency in terms of icons, in terms of font size, in terms of color, it looks similar for all three screens. Like the icons look from same family, which is very important for a user. It would help them to trust on your app or on your product. Like in this example, if you see the website, it has the similar theme carried forward in terms of first fold on the left side and the second fold on the website. On the right hand side, if you see the wave background, it's carried out throughout the website in terms of color. If you see the primary action buttons, it has similar kind of border radius, font size, and even the icons, which you see on the right hand side. On the second fold of the website, we have used the line icons, which is consistent in terms of hover icons, in terms of static icons. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the video and the examples was really helpful, which would help to clear your concepts about the heuristic along with the examples. So now let's quickly recap what we have covered so far in my last video and today's video about the heuristics. So if you see, we have covered first four heuristics, and in my next video I'll be talking about the next three heuristics, that is error prevention, recognition rather than recall, flexibility and efficiency of use. So thank you guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did and would you like to have more stuff like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel UX UI Design Group.